Every month, we bring you the latest in gaming news and trends across the industry. From gaming conferences to the best releases, this month is shaping up to be a big one. I'm Pynn, this is Critical Hit, and today we're bringing you 5 big stories in gaming for August. Up first is talking about the next big event in gaming, which starts August 20th with Gamescom. This is supposed to be the biggest Gamescom ever, with people like Xbox confirming this will be their biggest booth yet, and the event itself claiming there will be more exhibitors than ever. Unfortunately, one of the biggest companies in gaming, that is Sony, they've confirmed they will not be attending Gamescom. But they've said they will be attending Tokyo Game Show, and they have not done that in the last 5 years. I am, of course, looking forward to seeing some big game drops and demos. It's important to see what games these companies deem their most important, and to see where they're going with their marketing. But I think the real story here is that a lot of news outlets were starting to say these game conferences were dying out, especially around conferences like E3 this year. But Gamescom may prove these outlets wrong, and show the industry is more healthy than most are reporting. Or at least moving in that direction. I know a lot of people, myself included, don't like some of the new directions we see games go in, especially ideologically. But I love my not so exclusive hobby, and still wish for the best in this industry. We have not seen mass developer layoffs in a few months, and I'm hoping that trend continues. Our next story is about Ubisoft, and they've issued a statement/apology about Assassin's Creed Shadows on X, formerly known as Twitter. How long do you think we're all going to say formerly known as Twitter? For those that have not heard of the controversy yet, I'm going to very briefly explain it. The promotional materials used a flag that is still in use from the historical reenactment group, and their one of 2 main characters is a black samurai named Yasuke, which is a historical character in Japanese culture, but his role in society is pretty hotly debated. As far as I can tell, any reference of Yasuke being a samurai stems from a man named Thomas Lockley, who is an associate professor at Nihon University, and the rationale seems pretty akin to, well, the documents never specifically say he wasn't a samurai. But this story runs pretty deep, and the more I look into it, the more I'm willing to say this was probably not historically accurate, and Thomas Lockley is trying to rewrite history. Many of the Wikipedia inserts about Yasuke were done by Thomas Lockley, and they use his own research as references. And at this point, you have actual Japanese historians coming out, talking about this and debating the issue, talking about the real historical inaccuracies. But this subject could really be its own separate video, so now I'm going to try to get back on topic. So Ubisoft's apology came as 4 images, with their apology starting on image 2. They say they collaborated with consultants, historians, and researchers for the time period, but it was never their intention to present any of this story as factual representations of history or historical characters. And you know what? Ubisoft has taken some liberties in the past about the history, but then again, they've also never made you play as an actual historical character. The 3rd image contains the apology about what was the historical reenactment group's flag. And even though they say they will remove it where possible, it looks like it's going to be left in the collector's edition art book because those have already been printed. And their final image contains acknowledgement of the Yasuke figure, and that they may have taken some creative liberties by making him a samurai. They then go on to talk about their other lead character, the Japanese shinobi Naoe, and how they do in fact have a Japanese character for this game. Maybe she's starting to take center stage for their marketing. This whole controversy feels a lot more like they wanted a Japanese game similar to Ghost of Tsushima, and thought they could use Yasuke as a way of getting those oh-so-desired diversity points as a bonus. What was supposed to be Ubisoft's forward-thinking moment ended up backfiring, coming off really as racist. Especially to a lot of people in Japan, which now they've had to backtrack and get defensive about their decision. This is an Assassin's Creed though, and it's one of the best-selling franchises of all time. It's gonna sell well regardless. It's just always funny to see the white middle-aged DEI departments go too far with their false hero complexes. Alright, next up we have another big news story, and that's about Xbox, and it has some new subscription models. First off, for an extra $20 a month, you can get access to Game Pass Ultimate, which will get you access to their AAA Microsoft games on day 1. But Microsoft is now also reportedly working on a cheaper subscription service that would be cloud only. The xCloud can already be played and is sold as a bundle Game Pass right now with an Xbox controller and a Fire Stick to stream games through your TV. But Xbox has been struggling lately. I don't think it's any secret. That's to keep up, of course, with the PS5 and Switch, and this new model will save Xbox by not needing an Xbox. Instead, just a well-priced subscription and a TV to stream their games. This could be pretty big for them. Maybe their struggling system sales won't matter in the future, and I know a lot of people who wish they could play console games without dishing out the hundreds, and sometimes even thousands for new consoles. I know this sounds a lot like the Google Stadia, but maybe Microsoft can pull it off. Our next story has us talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League again. Yeah, I know, again. And Season 2 just dropped on the 25th of July, It has Mrs. Freeze, the lesbian gender swap Mr. Freeze. And you know what? The first thing I just want to ask is, why do game developers always make lesbians look the same way? I am fairly certain at this point in my life that not every lesbian has that same butch look with that same short buzz haircut. I'm going to throw a picture up on here for you so you can see what it looks like, but you really, I think, know what it looks like before you even see the picture.
Ow! Jump scare!
Again, another DEI department going overboard and stereotyping in the name of anti-stereotyping. But that's just my rant about the game developer. That's not what this main story is about. The main part of the story is that the game duped us all along. The real story is now revealed. We were never supposed to kill the Justice League, like the title says. We were actually supposed to save the Justice League. Yeah, it is now confirmed that all the Justice League that you killed during the game are just clones. And you need to go and find and save the real Justice League. Well, except Wonder Woman. She was real and killed by clone Superman. Something I am curious about, was this all planned out originally? And if you free Batman, will his dialogue be Kevin Conroy's voice? Or was this all recorded as an afterthought to try and change the direction of a dying game? Can't wait to find it out. But some good news on the Kevin Conroy situation. I watched Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 3, and he does voice Batman in that movie. It isn't the primary Batman, and it's just a few lines, but his voice is unmistakable, and the Batman he was playing felt pretty fitting. So that is a silver lining that you can at least hear him in a good DC product again. But Rocksteady has already said Suicide Squad's gonna go to Season 4. And I'm not sure, given how little dialogue they've added in the game every season, that handful of new dialogue will be enough to justify and make this story change make sense. My money is on that this wasn't planned, and it's just an attempt to right a sinking ship. I have heard rumors about them trying to make a Justice League game out of it. But you know what? Those are just rumors. What I will be doing is paying attention to see if Kevin Conroy's voice returns in this game. Alright, and last up, as always, we'll be bringing you video games that we intend to check out, or in today's case, at least look at this month. Our first game is Black Myth Wukong. We have discussed it in the past on this channel. An action-adventure game with fluid and fast-paced combat, no block button, and a punishing and rewarding dodge system, with a cooldown after multiple successive uses. Looks like a fun game, I'm looking forward to checking it out, and really, I just want to see what the boss battles and the transformation system looks like. But this will be out on PS5 and PC on August 20th. And our final game I'm going to be checking out this month is Star Wars Outlaws. I have always been a big fan of Star Wars. I love the IP, or I love the IP I should say, and talking about games like this is bittersweet. I hope it's a good game, with fast-paced action, intriguing stealth sections, and a compelling story. I just know based on all the information released so far, that's likely not going to be the case. Still, we intend to check it out and give it a try. We're going to share our thoughts on it after it releases August 30th on the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and S. And that's our stories for August. Do you think Star Wars Outlaws is going to be a banger hit? Maybe you think Assassin's Creed Shadow is going to buck the trend, and it won't be the best-selling game in the series. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks for sticking with me till the end, and if you made it this far, leaving a like and subscribing goes a long way to helping us continue what we do. I'm Pynn, you're awesome. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.